Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Just a brief announcement. The graduates are beginning to come downstairs and get lined up in the hallway. We are all set for an on-time start at Will the class please be seated? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Stephen Ling, and I am the head of high school here at Léman, Manhattan. It has been my pleasure to get to know the class of 2022 over the course of this school year. So I say good morning to all of our graduates, our parents, guardians, family members, friends, and of course all of our faculty who are here with us today, both in person and to all of those folks who are joining our live stream broadcast. On behalf of our head of school, Maria Castelluccio, and the faculty and staff of Léman Manhattan Preparatory School, it is my privilege to welcome you all to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2022. It goes without saying that this class has experienced a series of unprecedented challenges that schools and students all over the world have faced over the last few years. I know from my experience here this year that through these pandemic years, Léman Manhattan has remained committed to moving forward with teaching and learning. The effort and commitment that we're seeing from the class of 2022 through the IB exam period, which was quite impressive, by the way, and the phenomenal college destinations that we see for these graduates are testament to that commitment. I want to give special thanks this morning to our faculty for going the extra mile repeatedly for this class and for our other students as well. Yeah. Our teachers have balanced the provision of in-person learning, hybrid learning, and virtual learning as needed for each student, each senior sitting here today. This has been no small feat, and through the efforts of our teachers, we have been able to keep moving forward for our seniors. I believe that the pandemic has magnified what we understand as what is important, what we need for ourselves, and what we need from each other. Through adversity, we learn that we have the ability to persevere. We also learn that the keys to perseverance lie in gratitude for the blessings in your life, consistent kindness to your friends and family in the face of challenges, and most appropriate for today, allowing yourself to be fully present in the moment. In this context, it is with a tremendous sense of gratitude and with great optimism for the future that we are thrilled to be together with you all in this ballroom celebrating this class. Sorry, page turn. Seniors, today is a long-awaited milestone for each of you. What I am sure each of you are feeling at this moment is a strong sense of accomplishment for what you have achieved at Léman, along with a sense of joy and anticipation for what lies ahead. There is no question that you have spent countless hours getting to this point in your lives. However, you wouldn't be sitting here ready to embark on the next chapter if it wasn't for your parents, guardians, family, friends, and of course your teachers. So with that in mind, I would like to take this opportunity to specially recognize and thank the parents and guardians of the class of 2022 for your support and your commitment to your child's education in our school. We know that you have played a vital role in supporting the students to get to this point. And with that in mind, I would ask each parent or guardian present today for a senior in this ceremony to stand and be recognized. Thank you. So we are gathered here today to celebrate and appreciate the accomplishments and achievements of the class of 2022, the high school experience, and for many of our seniors here, the total experience at Léman is not just about academic experiences, exams, good grades, or a transcript. Seniors, as you look back, you will realize more and more that your school experience here has been a significant part of helping you figure out who you are, what you care about, and where you want to go. And with that in mind, we celebrate all of the experiences over your educational journey here at Léman and your place in the world going forward as Bulls for Life. Your graduation today is an essential milestone and a key rite of passage on your journey to adulthood. I urge all of you, each one of you today, to be present together with us as a school community. Let me be first to congratulate you on your achievements this morning. We are enormously proud of you. And finally, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the largest class of Léman lifers, legacy award winners that we have seen graduate from our school in a single class. These are students who began here at Léman either in pre-K4 or kindergarten, meaning that we have seen these students in our classes, our halls, our clubs, our teams, and our fine arts programs for 13 or more years. There are 15 in total. I would like to recognize them now. J.P. Babin, Max Cheney, James Douglas, Anna Eisenberg, Maya Henkin, Shane Jones, Amelia Lewis, Teddy Nahum, Sarah Jane Nigel, Maya Pazamant, Braden Pollock, Ava Cyrilnik, Ethan Sosnick, Lucas Sosnick, and Elle Ternagioli. Thank you to these students and to the families for your support and long-lasting commitment to Léman Manhattan Preparatory School. Thank you all. It is now my privilege and pleasure to introduce our head of school, Maria Castelluccio.
Thank you, Dr. Lang. Good morning to Léman faculty and staff, families, friends, and loved ones attending in person, and those streaming online. And most importantly, to our seniors, the graduating class of 2022. I'm thrilled that we're able to gather here today in person. I have watched you this week as you participated in such special events as Pinning Day, Senior Prom, Awards Ceremony, Brunch, and more. And I saw the tremendous joy and importance that you share from being part of a compassionate community. As I reflect on this unique graduating class and what continues to be a unique time, I'm once again reminded of how much you have witnessed and navigated during your high school experience. I think about all the events that have occurred over the last 4 years: a pandemic, a citywide lockdown, a worldwide shutdown, a heightened level of political division, an insurrection, heightened level of an inauguration of a 46th president, and many heinous hate crimes, including the continuous killing of Black and brown Americans, a rise in anti-Asian hate, a rise in anti-Semitism, a war in Ukraine, and the continuation of horrific mass killings. We sit here with the raw pain of recent 10 victims in Buffalo and 21 victims of a Texas school shooting just this week. It's hard not to feel helpless and hopeless. But I am reminded of what New York Times columnist David Brooks believes can provide a path in the light of darkness, and that is the ability to feel connected to a community of people who can really listen with compassion, to have courageous conversations that support understanding and not division. We have all heard speeches this week from classmates, faculty, and others that talk about the power of community. And I invite you to reflect on the many ways that each of you have played an important role in making the Léman community what it is today. I ask you to do this because I have asked myself the very same question. What does it mean to be a leader in a community in times of challenge, fear, uncertainty, and inequities? My role has been to listen, to gather data, to support, to teach, to learn, to utilize resources and make decisions that support everyone in our community, individually and collectively, and to strive to make everyone seen, heard, and valued. All this in an effort to be stronger, smarter, and ultimately to grow you as future leaders. But we can only do that if we are mentally and emotionally healthy. We are facing a national mental health crisis, while at the same time a decrease in mental health resources. There are mental health challenges that clearly exist within and outside our communities. So as we look around at all that is happening, it's imperative that we begin to reflect on this reality, that we be open to doing things differently so that we can affect significant societal change. We know that mental health carries a stigma that is even more prevalent in Black and brown and other marginalized communities. There is a belief that people who sought out for mental health issues will always be broken. But do we consider that a tennis player who has injured their wrist, will they always be broken? If their fracture heals, are they still broken? Can they never walk on the court to play a game again? In my role as a leader, I had a choice in our own community, within our senior class, to either continue to perpetuate the mental health stigma or to invite a courageous conversation like the many that we've had around racism, gender discrimination, political and religious differences, but I failed. I failed to stand up when presented with a challenging and complex situation. I had the opportunity to change the perception by acknowledging that when a mental health intervention is provided and embraced by the person in deep pain, it works, that progress is made. I had the opportunity in my role as a leader to let our community member walk again in triumph, supported by our community. I didn't give you, the senior class, a chance to acknowledge his recovery and to welcome him back. I share my personal journey so that you leave our Léman community and join your next community, whether it be a new college, a university, a new group of friends, a new neighborhood, perhaps a new work situation, and you bring a greater awareness. You have had the experience of being supported by a compassionate Léman community. You can continue to have courageous conversations that value growth and change and allow for redemption. But be forewarned, you will be entering uncharted territory. You will be challenged. You will make mistakes as I have. But you can also acknowledge your mistakes. You can bring an understanding that we are always able to learn and become more aware of ourselves and others. Maya Angelou has said, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. So most importantly, do it with great passion, conviction, action, and compassion. Class of 2022, you give me great hope that as future leaders, you will bring new ideas, new lenses, and shine a new light to affect real-world change. I am confident that a bright future is possible for you. Congratulations to the class of 2022. It is my pleasure to now introduce our musical performance Lift Every Voice by J. Rosamond Johnson, performed by Larissa Lewson and Tori Edwards.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty.
Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us.
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us.
Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won.
Hello all, and thank you for coming to the graduation of the amazing class of 2022. This graduating class has had an insane year regarding college acceptances, great parties, and really just making wonderful memories with each other every day at school. It is a tradition at Léman for the graduating class to select a teacher that we all admire and respect to speak at our graduation and give us one final lesson as students at Léman. This year, we have selected a teacher that has left a remarkable impact on our high school careers and lives. So, on behalf of our graduating class, it is my honor to introduce the amazing Miss Khan.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I couldn't get this thing under 12 minutes. I tried so hard. If you need to take a nap, maybe this is the, I'm kidding. So I'll begin with a confession. I let Jake sleep through class. Kind of a lot. Oh, don't worry, he wasn't one of yours. He wasn't even one of ours. He was a senior in high school and one of my very first students ever. I remember one fall morning after attendance, I'm standing there in the front of the room, eager to impress upon everybody my authority, my desks all in neat rows, clueless rookie setup, and there's Jake in the back, sound asleep, okay. And we're reviewing something about conventions. We were talking about making plurals. Just a casual review at the beginning of the year, and I wrote the C-I-T-Y on the board. I said city. Okay, how do you make cities? Change the Y to an I, and you add E-S. And then I wrote country, C-O-U-N-T-R-Y on the board. How do you make countries? Yes, Missy. Change the Y to an I and add E-S. Thank you, yes. And then I wrote B-A-B-Y. And I said, how do you make babies? Saved by Missy. Change the Y to an I and add ES. Yeah, okay. Jake stirs in the back. His eyes open just long enough to look confused. Yeah, Jake. That's not how I make them. These lovely graduates could tell you that my humorous, hopefully, story about Jake is an anecdote, a narrative of an interesting, amusing, or biographical incident, according to Merriam-Webster. And this speech happens to take the form loosely of an essay of definition. You see, Jake's comment reminds me over the years that nobody keeps it real like a teenager. And so today, I will be exploring with you the definition of real. Real, according to the first search result in Urban Dictionary. The action of being true to oneself as well as being true to others, free from any intent to impress or deceive others. In these past 2 years, my beloved students, you have challenged me to be real with you, to be vulnerable with you, to be scared and heartbroken with you, to feel the transformative power of language and of literature. Art Spiegelman, Han Kang, Ava DuVernay. The brutality of our social injustice system, uprising, the helpless cry of a single wavering voice against a political machine, a collective resignation to all go down together because that was the only real choice. We pressed on, our proverbial noses in our books, we pressed our ears to the ground, we heard disembodied voices. Victims misunderstood and betrayed. We felt heartbreak so cutting, it left scars in the earth in the shape of graves. Loneliness so isolating that it could only live in the tomb of solitary confinement. Rishu and Anya, the editor, the boy, Dong Ho, Bobby, Kevin, Antron, Raymond, Yusuf, Corey. You, my beloveds, were fearless. Already suspended in a haunted Zoomscape where we could hardly see one another, let alone hold each other, we ventured into these desolate pockets of the human heart, too bleak and horrifying to navigate with a flickering candle of mere appropriateness. And so even over Zoom, we were real with each other. And when we returned to in-person learning, being real felt like an invitation to celebrate our physical space together. And here I turn to Merriam-Webster's first definition of real, having objective, independent existence, tangible. After months of Zoom gloom and a year of hybrid hellscape, sharing our classroom with you, my beloved students, felt like a miracle, a resurrection, this new magical energy, the synergy of our psyches and our bodies in a room together at the same time. Isn't that called being alive? To celebrate your arrival, I baked you real ginger snaps and real snickerdoodles and chocolate chip cookies. I perfumed our classroom with rosewood and sage and peppermint and crystal. I invited you to help me decorate our walls. You hung original artwork, assembled our classroom furniture. Yeah. You brought in photos of your childhood. We played games. We played Uno. We played classroom games for real prizes, fashionable face masks and cool silver markers. We merrily acted out scenes from a doll's house with ridiculous props. We took breaks. We took naps. We arm wrestled. Where is he? We wrote snail mail letters stamped and addressed to our future selves. The younger, older version of me might have questioned whether we were wasting our time. The real me knew that we were making the most of it. Yesterday, we reminisced in the street, in the sunlight, signing yearbooks. And I could feel over the course of those 2 hours, my wrists getting quite sore, my shoulder bunching. I might imagine standing and you know, those of you who are of a certain age might realize what that can do to a person for 2 hours. And I could feel even my nose and my cheeks getting quite hot, and indeed this morning under all this makeup they are quite red. I guess I didn't notice the UV index surrounded as I was by 1,000 sparkling stars. That's you guys. Your peals of teenage laughter, your breathless goodbyes shimmering through the prism of your beautiful tears. You cast rainbows on the sidewalk. I wouldn't trade yesterday afternoon and my souvenir sunburn for the coolest shade in the coziest office in the world. And this brings me to the third and final movement of my essay of definition, a reference to one of my favorite childhood stories entitled The Velveteen Rabbit by Marjorie Williams Bianco. It begins. There once was a velveteen rabbit, and in the beginning, he was really splendid. He was fat and bunchy as a rabbit should be. His coat was spotted brown and white. He had real thread whiskers, and his ears were lined with pink sateen. This stuffed rabbit becomes the favorite toy of a boy who sleeps with his rabbit every night and hugs him so tightly that the rabbit's velveteen fur becomes shabbier and shabbier. His tail becomes unsewn, and all the pink rubs off his nose where the little boy had kissed him. The Velveteen Rabbit is so happy to be loved that he does not notice. It's like his friend Skin Horse, the oldest and wisest toy of the nursery, once told him. When a child really loves you, then you become real. Does it hurt? Asked the rabbit. Sometimes, said the Skin Horse, for he was always truthful. When you are real, you don't mind being hurt. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off and your eyes drop out and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all, because once you are real, you can't be ugly except to people who don't understand. Then one day, the little boy's face grows very flushed. He talks in his sleep, and his little body is so hot with fever that he burns the rabbit when he holds him. You see, the Velveteen Rabbit is a fitting reference for our time because it is, in fact, a pandemic tale. Published exactly 100 years ago in 1922, it depicts the widespread outbreak of scarlet fever. You needn't worry about our little boy who in time recovers nicely. The Velveteen Rabbit, however, is not so lucky. That, cries the doctor. What? It is a mass of scarlet fever germs. A man of science and not of nursery magic, he declares that this stuffed bunny, along with the boy's old bedclothes, should be burned at once for sanitation. I guess they hadn't heard of Lysol laundry detergent in 1922. Then a miracle. As the bunny waits helplessly in a cloth bag, awaiting his terrible fate, far from the boy he loves, a beautiful woodland fairy appears. the fairy kisses the bunny's trembling nose and declares to him, "You were very real to the boy because he loved you, and now you shall be real to everyone." Our rabbit realizes with glee and astonishment that he now has real hind legs. Instead of threadbare velveteen, he now has real bunny fur, soft and fluffy. His ears twitch by themselves. His whiskers are so long that they brush the grass. He leaps with joy. Marjorie Williams' story is a beautiful allegory for that part of us that dares to show up vulnerable, to love and to receive love, and in turn to be transformed, older and newer and joyful and real. Thank you for making me real. You're very, very real to me too.
It is also a tradition at Léman Manhattan Preparatory School for the high school teaching faculty to select a representative from the class to deliver a student address at the graduation ceremony. In choosing the student speaker, the faculty consider a senior who best represents the mission, core values, and beliefs of our school. Additionally, the faculty chooses a student speaker who exemplifies the best of what it means to be a scholar in the classroom, a persistent and hardworking student, a critical thinker, and a thoughtful and reflective contributor to the academic community in the school. This morning, I am more than happy to introduce the student speaker for the class of 2022, Ms. Catherine Cornett.
Good morning. Good morning to Ms. Castelluccio, Dr. Ling, faculty, staff, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. Okay. When I was told that I would be giving a speech at graduation, two things came to mind. First, panic, because if you know me, then you know that I strongly dislike public speaking. The second was fear. Not just because I had to give a speech at graduation, but because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to do our graduating class justice. I mean, look at us. We went from small students crowding up the hallways, unsure of where to go, to seniors who knew everything, including the best shortcuts to be first in line for the elevators. We're sitting here in the ballroom for our final time before going all around the world to some of the best colleges and universities ever. We are an impressive grad class, and this speech had to match. So I did what any good college student would do and typed in how to write a good graduation speech in Google. I scrolled for what seemed like hours and fell down the funny graduation speech YouTube rabbit hole, but it was all worth it in the end because I found wikihow.com. Yes, it is a reliable source because it isn't Wikipedia, and for the teachers in the audience, there is no need to worry. I plan to cite the source, so don't be nervous about plagiarism. Though, whether or not it will be cited properly is all up to EasyBib. So here we go. Step one was to introduce yourself, which is easy enough. Hi, my name is Catherine Cornett, and even though I went into shock when I was first told I'd be speaking, I'm honored to be giving this speech. People know me best for soccer, but more specifically goalkeeping. Step two, show gratitude and thank people. So first, I'd like to thank my parents, because without you pushing me from the moment I walked through these doors and being a shoulder to cry on when the stress was hitting an all-time high, I wouldn't be standing here today. Thank you for teaching me to never give up, because if you didn't, I wouldn't have found WikiHow, and there would be no speech. Next, I would like to thank my sister, Hillary, and my younger sister, Victoria, for being the best distractions from anything stressful and for being my greatest friends. You both always manage to put a smile on my face, even if you don't mean to. Lastly, I'd like to thank our teachers, because without their belief and faith in us, the past 4 years would have been a lot harder. From something as small as giving us an extra day for an assignment, to giving us a space to stay after school, every minor detail made our days here that much better. Whether we've realized it or not, you've all made us into better people. Next, step 3 is to include a funny joke to help break the ice. So, fellow graduates, just like we are proud of ourselves, our parents are immensely proud of us. Some of them are in the audience trying to hide their tears or thinking about the amazing things we're going to accomplish. So use that to your advantage. Now would clearly be the best time to ask for some money. I mean, we're about to be broke college students after all, so it's the least they can do. Step 4 is to reflect on the past. This was a little bit hard because if I ran through the list of our class's accomplishments, we'd be here a while, and some of us have things to do. So I'll just skip to the important part, COVID-19. That pandemic changed what many of us thought would be our typical high school experience. We went from walking into classrooms filled with students to seeing each other through Zoom. The world was caught at a standstill as most spent weeks in quarantine, only to return to a classroom with 1 or 2 other students max, and the rest remained online. And if not being able to see our friends wasn't bad enough, starting IB that same year made things that much worse. Motivation was a hard thing to find, especially when it was easy to hide your face and spend hours scrolling through your phone or catching up on sleep. But we aren't a class that just sat there and took it. We kept pushing through, making the best out of a scary situation. We're resilient and resourceful people, because if we weren't, we wouldn't be sitting here today as high school graduates, about to enter the next exciting part of our lives. Step 5, talk about what comes next. That kind of reminded me of the "what do you want to be when you grow up" question you get asked when you're in first grade and learning the basics of math. And then every year after that, like, the answer is supposed to change. Well, I'll give you guys the same answer I gave them back then. I don't know, can I go play now? What comes next is 4 years of experimenting and telling everybody one thing when 1 year and a major switch later, we'll be saying something completely different. Yes, we're grown-ups now, but that doesn't mean that we'll stop growing. We're bound to make mistakes, and that's a good thing. Every mistake we make will teach us something. For example, if we make the mistake of not studying for a test and then try to act surprised when we don't know anything, we've learned something very important. We've learned to search for a Quizlet study guide the night before the exam. And then when that didn't work, we realized that meeting with the teacher after school was probably the next best thing. Mistakes will happen, and we may not know what we've done until we have to face the consequences. But that's okay, because that's what will turn us into even better people. People who know our limits and exactly how to surpass them. People who will never take the word impossible at face value, because if making it through the IB program during a pandemic has taught us anything, it's that impossible simply isn't a word that belongs in our vocabulary. Most importantly, it proves to us that mistakes will never define us, but how we handle them and what we do with the knowledge we've learned will. Step 6, tell a personal story. Now this was the hard part. If I was going to tell a personal story at graduation, I wanted to make sure that everybody would at least be able to take something from it. With that in mind, the only thing I could think about was senior year. So let's start with the first day. I was a little bit anxious. I mean, I hadn't stepped foot in the hallways for over a year and a half, and I didn't know what to expect. It was weird seeing the lines of red and blue telling us exactly which side of the hallway we should walk on, or what stairs we'd have to take. And being required to sit forward to a table at lunch was a bit shocking, because before COVID, there was never a limit. But I was so excited to see my friends in person for the first time in a while that those were easy things to overlook. And I could tell from the squeals in the hallway and the amount of people hugging that I wasn't the only one who felt that way. Even our teachers were finally excited to be back in person altogether. I knew from that moment everything I planned to do this year would be to make up for all the lost time and to create what would become some of my favorite memories, because by this time next year, instead of a hug, it would be a happy first day text. So that's exactly what I did. And time seemed to fly by even faster than in freshman and sophomore year. Before I knew it, we hit May, the hardest month of my life. Not because of IB exams, while they were a close second, but because I realized I'd be saying goodbye to a place I've known to call home, and goodbye to some of the most amazing people I've ever met. Senior week was flying by way too fast, and it was getting harder to contain the tears. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited for college, but how was I supposed to handle not being able to say good morning to my best friends every day? One thing to know about me is that I hate goodbyes. They sound so official and permanent, and it just didn't seem like it matched at all. I mean, some goodbyes would only last for a couple of hours, or months maybe. But then it hit me. Some of these goodbyes were about to last years. Goodbye is sad, and not universal in the slightest. But do you know what it is? See you later. See you later implies that I will see you again, even if I don't know when. Senior year is one big, fun, sometimes really stressful, undefined see you later. But whether it's weeks, months, or years, we're bound to see each other again, because the friendships and relationships we've built in a community like Léman won't just disappear with 3 words. I know for a fact that we just won't let it. We've become each other's biggest support systems, and even when college, or whatever you plan to do in the next part of your life becomes stressful, know that you will always find help and support in the community we've created here. Finally, step 7 is to end with a conclusion. Since a lot of us grew up on Disney, I wanted to bring up a quote by the character Winnie the Pooh. He said, "How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard?" But what I would like to end with is this. How lucky are we, class of 2022, to have a place like this, surrounded by people who have shown us nothing but constant love and support to make our see you later that much harder. I wish you all nothing but good luck and good times in the next couple of years of your lives. Congrats, everyone. You did it.
Thank you, Kat, for that wonderful speech. Good morning, and congratulations to the class of 2022. My name is Mariah Sanford-White. I'm the senior grade level leader. And at this time, on behalf of the faculty and administration of Léman Manhattan, it is my honor to commence with the presentation of diplomas. Will the first row to my left please stand and take your places? Mikal Ahmed. Ava Asensio Bozak. Adriana Atherton Patrick. Amor Melody Azor. João Felipe Babin. Emma Sadeta Bekteshevich. Evan Finlay Bird. Micaiah Blaze. Talia Brown in absentia. Maximus Cheney. Marceau Chabron. James Cho. Hillary Grace Cornett. Catherine Claire Cornett. Sarah Rafaela Damiano Rosenberg. Isadora Linares de Luca. Sophia Marie Dopman. James Douglas. Gabriela Regina Duzay. Giselle Geneviève Duzay. Shirley Catarina Francisca Maria Drent. Tori L. Edwards. Anna Eisenberg. Ali Albana in absentia. Sophia Rose Elder. Santiago Esparza Chapa. Robert Francis Fornes II. Christopher Francis. Tahila Aliyah Gomes. Andrea Julissa Gonzalez. Maya Jory Henkin. Fumihiko Homyo. Huang Yihong Aaron. Huang Yijun Eddie. Jacob Humphreys. Sarah Ingram. Kazuma Ito. Frederick Nels Johnson. Shane Jones in absentia. Morgan Jones. Sana Kimathi Walker. Maximilian Kletzman. Nahyan Ko. Alan Kutcher in absentia. Daniel Kutcher in absentia. Aram Kuchak. Levent Kuchak. Emma Mary Lescaille. Amelia Lewis. Lee Jiajun in absentia. Una Longkar. Larissa Lewison. Nia Lawanga. Olivia Veronique Mazuel. Shulpan Mirgalimova Rustamovna. Kaya Impella. Sergelin Munkbold. Teddy Nahum. Arseny Nasikovsky. Sam Nguyen Jones. Sarah Jane Nigel. Jasmine Novembre. Amira Omar. Ayokunumi Omilala. Maya Pazamant. Braden Pollock. Paulina Polonsky. Sandro Salome in absentia. Claire Samstag. Claudia Michelle Sanchez Jean. Jenna Shabin. Arujan Shabdarbaeva. Peter Sharples. Ava Jade Sorolnik. Nicole Andrea Sujarwo. Ethan Sosnick in absentia. Lucas Sosnick. Abhishek Shrivastava. Noah Ludwig Alexander Strandberg. Sun Juning in absentia. Dakota Claire Taylor. Leilani Tejada Ramirez. Amelia Donna Thompson. Piper Tierney. Ella Ternagiolu. Leonard Tuschel. Paulina Valenzuela Barragan. Genesis Makeda Williams McMillan. Zhun Sha. Layla Yang. Shifei Yao. Zhang Song Ray Zachary in absentia. Arya Makepeace Zimmerman. Congratulations once again, class of 2022.
Would everyone please rise for the alma mater?
Sing
All members of the class of 2022, would you please turn together and face our audience today? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize our graduates one more time, please, with a round of applause. And now, the turning of the tassel is a tradition signifying the completion of the graduation ceremony. In keeping with this tradition, would all graduates please turn their tassel from the right side to the left to symbolize your transition as graduates of Léman Manhattan Preparatory School. This concludes this morning's ceremony. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Throw them. Throw it. Yeah. And McCall, you may go. We have our recessional music, please. It's time to recess. Recess, yep. Yep. Kind of like we practiced. Yep. Go, go, go. Yep. Recess. Recess. That's it. Yep.
See you. It's been a while. Been many years. 3 years.